Oh, morning, guys. As you can tell, it's freezing this morning. So cold. It's quite deceptive because it's really sunny outside. It's very crispy, very cold. My fingers, I couldn't even feel them last night. Yesterday, I think I ate something wrong. I eat mainly vegetables, but I had a little bit of pork and some potatoes, a lot of potatoes actually. And I regret ever having bloody looked at them. They look so tasty, and I had an allergic reaction. As you can see, all my nose is red because I was sneezing my brains out. Achoo! Achoo! All evening. And obviously you have to blow your nose. You have to, and it becomes very, very, very delicate. I was just recovering from a cold sore. You see here, which is herpes, a herpes attack. There are two types of herpes or cold sores, herpes simplex 1 and herpes simplex 2. And they're both triggered off, well, in my case, it's triggered off by a few things, and they have to work in combination. And the virus wakes up, and I get it here. I get like a little crust, and I have to deal with it. Well, anyway, if my immune system is down, if I eat nuts and if I eat chocolate like Nutella or something like that, then it comes. So, but I forget, and then I end up, it doesn't come for 6 months or a year or something. I forget, and then I eat some Nutella or some nuts, and I'm really stressed out, bang, and it wakes up. So what I do, so here's tip number 1. Try not to get too stressed out, obviously, and don't eat too many nuts or chocolate or coconut, these kind of things that have, I think it's called arginine. It's an amino acid that makes the virus wake up. The virus basically, it lives in your spine, maybe back of the neck or the spine, depending where it manifests in the body. It will lie dormant in the closest area to the spine where it erupts. So, if you have maybe genital herpes, it will lie dormant in the back, in the spine area. And so, because I have it here, I think it lies dormant in my neck area, in the cervical area. I don't know. But the way to get rid of it, obviously, avoid those triggers, those things that can make it wake up. But I think arginine is what liberates it from its shackles. The immune system is dealing with it. But if your immune system is down, it's difficult then to keep it under control, and it wakes up. Because it lies dormant most of the time. So avoid arginine foods. So you can check out, what arginine foods, what foods are high in arginine. On the internet you can find the list of foods high in that amino acid, and then just eat foods that are high in lysine or higher in lysine, because usually there's a combination, there's a ratio. So the foods that have a higher lysine to arginine ratio you should eat, like eggs, for example, or there must be some vegan options. But what I do is I take a tablet of lysine itself, the actual amino acid. So the day before I took 1, yesterday I took 2, and already it's finished. Whereas before I would have these cold sore attacks or these herpes attacks last a week or 2 weeks, and it takes a long time. Well, not that long. It's not a long time for it to go away, but you know, it's horrible to have it that long. So I managed to cut it down to a week, and now I can cut it down to, once it erupts, I can cut it down to about 4 days maybe. And if I catch it before it comes, when I feel a bit down and I feel it's coming, if I start to take the lysine, avoid arginine foods, and up the lysine to arginine food ratio foods, then I can get rid of it even before it, it erupts. So maybe 2 days, 3 days. Oh man. But this red is all because of a histamine response that I had from potatoes and pork. I shouldn't be eating pork or potatoes because they give me a histamine reaction response, allergic kind of, well, intolerant response. You can see that I have an intolerance to that food. I mean, I was sneezing my brains out. I was achoo. And so something happened in the middle of the night that has never happened to me. It's amazing. This has never happened. I woke up and my jaw, the joint here, these joints here, the jaw joints, were aching so much. It's as if, how can I explain it? It's as if all night I clamped my teeth down, clamped my mouth down all night, and like in the middle of the night, woke up with such an ache on both sides of my jaw, and I thought, what the hell is that? I tried to move from one side to the other because I usually sleep on my front. So maybe I twisted. I thought, maybe I twisted my neck and I'm putting too much pressure. So I lay down on my left, on my right, on my back. And when I lay down on my back, it kind of relieved the pressure. But I felt so much pressure here on my jaw, the jaw joints. And I thought, what the hell is this? This has never happened. So I think what it was is maybe a combination of 2 things. Yeah, 3 things. My immune system is down, but my the sneezing was quite violent, and I was going achoo. So maybe that affected my whole neck, this area as well. So that's the main thing, because that's what happened yesterday. But also another thing that happened yesterday is that I had a kind of an argument with okay, I'm not going to say anything, she might bloody sue me. So let's say a person. Shall I say family or relative? Can I say that? Okay, I'll just say a person. I'll leave it very simple, very vague. Sorry. Yeah, and I made a video. It's on another channel, and it's about myself being an idiot, basically walking around doing monkey noises, and I thought it's quite silly, and I call myself Mr. Idiot, so I don't offend anyone. I'm just being an idiot and showing myself up as an idiot in order to make people happy, just in order to make people laugh. That's all. It's supposed to be a funny channel. So I showed this person the video. I can't believe what she said. She said, that's offensive. I said, who am I offending? I'm offending myself. I'm offending myself. I'm showing myself up to be an idiot. And the title is Mr. Idiot, I don't know, plays with tractors. So I'm playing on the floor, a grown-up man with little tractors. Initially I thought, who am I offending? A tractor? Or I don't understand what I did wrong. And she was triggered. You know, people get triggered. Yeah, and it just like I was just caught out. I thought, oh, I thought she would like the video, and not only did she not like the video, but you know, I said to her, it's not offensive. She said, yes, it's offensive. I said, can you explain to me? You know, I've put clips in, and those clips, you know, come from you know, parts of my my past. For example, there's a Laurel and Hardy, you know, the two comedians of the 1930s and 40s. In one clip, there's an alchemist. He's a crazy alchemist, and he's trying to make the elixir of life. And his laugh is so funny, and he points at them, and he does this. And I just added that into the video. I added another monkey bit because I like monkeys. Another bit I added was, what was it? Oh yeah, I did this. You know, walking backwards, because I used to do that as a child. I used to play, these used to be feet and these used to be hands, the head and she said it's offensive. I thought, so she said, do you know people who have Asperger's and people who are handicapped do things like that? So you are appropriating. Appropriating means you're making light or making fun of another person's culture, or maybe in this case, disability. But I really wasn't. You know, I can tell you from my heart, this is the first I have even, I don't know what Asperger's is. I have to look into it. I know what handicapped people are, but when I was doing, it's me being an idiot. It's not, I would never offend a handicapped person. My God, you know, that's an evil thing to do. For example, if you walk past a handicapped person, you go, you know, that would be really horrible. You know, I would never do that. But when I do, it's because I'm being an idiot. I didn't think in my mind that I'm imitating a handicapped person. I'm just imitating myself being stupid. You know, I didn't think too much, you know. Anyway, she just really pissed me off, and she said, I don't want to talk to you. And I you know, oh, another thing I said to her, I said, I just tried to make a video to make people happy, you know, and you're taking it the wrong way. I'm sure, you know, other people won't see it that way. I don't think, you know. But she's very left-wing, very ultra woke, you know, triggered all the time, you know. And to be honest, she's racist. She's racist towards white people. You know, I know this, you know, and I can't say who she is because she'll probably bloody sue me. But I can say she's part of my family or my relatives. That's all I'm going to say. Or maybe she might not be. You see, I have to protect myself here. But I said, you know, haters will hate. You know, you will get a minority who might not like it. Immediately she said, well, don't you realize you are a minority? You're an ethnic minority. That's for fuck's sake. When I said minority, I mean out of 100 people, you have a minority, like a small percentage of people that might hate or might not agree or might get triggered. But she immediately equates minority to the race, a racial minority. Again, I was trying to say, you see, with these people, you always put your foot in it. You know, I said a minority of people might get offended, and she thinks, oh, minority, you're talking about black people or Asian people, you know. I can't believe how these people think, you know. So I said to her, you are an anti-white racist. That's why you see everything with the not glasses, with the filter of race. Everything has to be about race. You have to be triggered about everything. I'm sorry, I got heated, I got really angry because, I was trying to do something good. In no way am I appropriating or whatever it is. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I actually went out of my way. It took me so long to make that video, so much stress, so much work, in the hope that, I might get views, but also if I don't get thousands of views or hundreds of views, the small amount of people that see it will laugh or say, oh, look at this idiot, and put a smile to someone's face. Anyway, I had this argument with her, and I just said to her, look, the only people that continuously talk about race and focus on it are racists. And I said, you are an anti-white racist. You continuously put me down when it comes to race, and you're always triggered where there's no offense. There's no offense. You take offense when there's no offense. You're trying to find problems where there's no problem. Well, why can't we just love each other and be all of us be happy? And oh, I don't know. I think it's the people she was brought up with, and the way she grew up, whatever area, but this person isn't black, for example. I know some black people, and they don't have this way of thinking. They're not so triggered. In fact, quite a few of the black people I know are quite down to earth. They're not triggered all the time. It's usually whites or maybe some Asians that are triggered for them. It's as if this might sound strange, but it's as if they're here, and like the black person is here and saying, don't worry, we'll look after you from those terrible white oppressors. Don't worry, we'll look after you, and don't worry, we'll protect you. Kind of like talking down to them as if they can't make their own decisions. What if this person, let's say for example a black person, what if this person says, I don't find that rude or offensive, and this person says, no, you have to, because, and we'll twist things around and say it's offensive because blah blah blah. Can't this person think for themselves? And then who is going to protect this person from you? You might become the oppressor or whatever and control them and brainwash them. So I'll tell you, when I speak to this person, I've always had quarrels, always had arguments. And you might say, why don't you cut ties with that person? With some people, it's difficult to cut ties. You could make your own mind up as to why. Some of you are smart enough to know why I can't cut ties. For example, if she's my wife, I can't cut ties. It's not my wife. If it's another person that's close to me, then it's difficult. You know what I mean? If it's a son, for example, or a cousin or something like that, then it's difficult. So you know what I mean? If it's a stranger, yeah, I would cut ties. I'd say, okay, look, you think like that, and I think a different way. So, immediately she has to bring my family into it. She said, well, your family is ethnic minority. So I said, why do you have to bring my family into it? I'm talking about a minority of people, i.e. 1%, might dislike the video, and you have to bring in minorities, my family, and then she said, well, you are a minority. You're an ethnic minority. I said, well, okay, I'm an ethnic minority. What does that mean? I'm still a white person. Is that the problem? From Scandinavia to Greece, from Russia to, whatever, Australia, we're all white. We're part of the same race. We might change from here to there. Some a bit darker, some a bit lighter. You know, why do I have to always talk about race around you? You know, and so I just hate talking to her and try to explain to her certain things, how the way I think, and it's just stressful. So that stress, I think, affected me. When I went to sleep, I was already sneezing. I had lots of problems with sneezing, and so maybe that made my immune system go down. I tell you, I'm really on it, being honest with you. Many black people I don't have a problem with. This person I have a problem with, and she's not even black. And these are the worst people, the people that speak up for black people. No, don't speak up for them. They can speak up for themselves. I can have a great time with one black person and be friends, but these people have to come in and cause a divide. They divide us, by bringing in their woke ideology. Even I have some friends that are left wing, and even they find it difficult to deal with them. But I'm not a left wing or right wing. I mean, a man in his 50s, a white person in his 50s, usually will gravitate towards the right, towards traditions and more conservative. But I'm not politically conservative. It's just by nature. I grew up in the 1970s or 80s, and I believe in certain things. I have certain values that my parents taught me. But I won't say anything. Like now I'm saying it, but I wouldn't push it on anybody else. Like, so this person pushes their, I don't know, their agenda, propaganda, their ideas, and they're all, if they were nice ideas, oh yeah, you don't mind listening to them, but they're all bad, they're all evil, they're all like having to put another person down. And I have to say, she usually puts down white people, and because I am white, she says, oh yeah, but you're not white like the English white. I say to her, look, I don't care if I'm not white like the English white people. I'm still white. We have the same kind of culture, religion, roughly the same culture, so if you're continuously talking bad about white people, I'm going to get offended as well. It's like, imagine you have a person who is a mixed race and is half white and half Asian, Chinese, for example, like my kids, and they have a friend that continuously talks bad about Chinese. They're going to get offended, sooner or later, because my kids are quite open. Anyway, so that's what happened last night, and I think that's the reason why, my jaw was affected. I couldn't open my mouth. It was terrible, really terrible. I never had that in my life. So strange. So now I'm going to I'm going to treat myself, go to the supermarket and get some goodies and get some food for her. She doesn't have any food. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Yeah, so that's the state of my health. Now I'm going to have to put this on. It is chilly. It is quite cold here in the north. Well, not the north. In Norfolk. So, okay, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye. Where is it? Sorry about rambling on earlier on. Well, just now. For you, it'll be just now. For me, earlier on, because I did my shopping. And it's happened so many times that I always say, okay, that's it. I don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. And then my wife says, no, you'll go back to her as soon as things are okay, as soon as the situation is, is different. You know, as soon as she's nice to you, then your heart is going to melt and you're going to be nice, because I'm a nice person. You see, I can't reject anybody. You know, I can't say, oh, listen, you go your way, I go my way, I don't want to see you anymore, to someone who is close to me, you know, someone who I have either family ties or, you know, relatives. You know, those people are difficult to cut ties with. So that's why last night I just felt it's frustrating, because, you know, you're going to see that person or going to hear from that person again, and then you're going to have to. It's always me. I'm always the one that says sorry. I've realized also with my wife, we have an argument or something. It can be like a really explosive argument, you know, or with this other person, and I'm always the one that has to say sorry. I've noticed that. You know, the people around me are quite hard, quite confident in themselves, and I'm the one who always has to, you know, back down and forget my pride and try and smooth things over, you know, for the sake of love, for the sake of harmony and peace. It's always me. Always me. You know, sometimes I think, yeah, it's because I'm gullible. And sometimes I think, you know, maybe I'm not strong enough, I don't have enough confidence in myself, and, you know, I'm a doormat. You know, people can use me. And they see my goodness, my forgiving them as a weakness. They say, oh, this guy, maybe they think this guy is weak. He's always going to say sorry. He's always going to back down. So, in a sense, maybe they believe that I'm the one who's wrong, because if I'm always saying sorry, you know, who says sorry? The person that is wrong, the person who's made a mistake. So they're so used to me saying sorry and backing down, and so in their minds they know what's coming next, and in their minds they think, well, if he says sorry, then he must be wrong, I must be right. I don't know. But I wish I could be harder. Like my dad. My dad is really hard, you know, to the point of being tactless. Sometimes he has no tact. In fact, he said to me once, you know, growing up, I have to think, how do I translate this from Sicilian to English? Si va avanti coi bugie, he says. You move forward in life with lies. Something like that. Yeah, he's a character, my dad. Very tough man. He used to be really strict, not only with his words, but in reality, well, with me, he used to say some harsh things, but, you know, he never used to beat me or anything like that. But he was quite brutal when he spoke. Very, as I say, with no tact. Yeah, anyway, so what am I doing now? I bought some dog food, so I'm going to feed Betty. She hasn't eaten anything yet. So I'm going to stop somewhere and feed her. I think she likes that food. So this is what she's going to be eating today. I made a little nest here so I can put the food on there and she can eat. And I'll be using this as a spoon. It's difficult to do this with one hand. I'll try though. End up cutting myself, that's the problem. Okay, I'm going to spoon this onto here so she can eat. Come here. Yeah, you love that, don't you? Yeah. She didn't want the food, so I think it's too early for her to eat. She usually eats in the evening about 8 or 9 o'clock. If I try giving her food, now, 3 o'clock or sometime in the afternoon, she just doesn't eat. She smells it, she tries to eat a little bit, but she's just not hungry. She eats about, well, not once a day, but she starts to get hungry about 8 o'clock or 9, and she'll want to eat junk like biscuits and things like that. Maybe because I eat it and she wants to eat it. No, but she does actually like junk, biscuits, crisps, cakes. I think she'll choose those rather than meat. She's a funny dog. She's so fussy. And I gave her a food, she didn't want it. Okay. So that's what's been going on today. I'm going to drive to another location. Next time I'll show you my sleeping arrangements, and I'll take her out to the woods. I'll show you what I do outside the car. I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.